people, we are back at A2TP podcast, episode 227.
Like the TV
and we
show.
are back for another episode of Us 227 with Marley Gibbs. What was the theme song?
You was about to do Fred Sanford.
I forgot.
But I don't remember.
Anyway, 227 theme song, but it's episode 227. It is another episode of Us. It's your boy International Walk.
It's your girl Tosh, the co-host with the most.
And we back for another episode of Us. How y'all be? We be good. We back with another episode. Hope y'all enjoyed the last episode and the last clips. We got another one in store for y'all today. Let's get right to it. How you be?
I'm okay. I don't know. It's like a heaviness over me. I think it's hormonal. You know, on the cusp of this past my least favorite weekend of the year. But I'm feeling okay. You always bring the light to me, and I'm appreciative of that. So with that being said, as far as the number, I'm a 9.
Okay. The wave is good.
Yeah, and financially, I am an 8. I really thank God for His blessings and just continuing to keep us and allowing us to be a blessing to others. You are a blessing to our babies this weekend. It's always good. Work is a 9. Work is busy right now. This weekend I have no staff. And when I say that, literally, I have 4 people. I'm down 1 person for other reasons. And then all 3 of my staff members are out of office. 2 starting today. And then for graduations for their kids. And I'm the type of leader, I don't deny PTO. Because my thing is, if it was me, you can say no. I can't approve this schedule PTO, but if it's something I really need or want to do, I'm just gonna call out. So what's the point in create
PTO?
Yeah, I'm just gonna call out because
I'm not accepting a no for my kid's graduation or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we may do. We make do. But but I say that to say work is really busy right now, not just because of that, but work is a 9. And then physically, I feel at this moment I'm feeling pretty good. I think tomorrow I'm going to be sore because my trainer worked me out really good, and I did a little bit of Pilates this week, which was it was mat Pilates. I want to try Pilates on those machines. Mat Pilates, who the hell did I think I was? This was who can do this? But people can. It just was so hard. So I'm a 9. Seriously, the stuff the lady was doing was
I was wondering why you didn't talk about it. It was oh, okay.
Well, one, we were extremely late. Trying to be in Center City at 6 o'clock. I should have left the house at 4:30. We were extremely late. I had to spend $17 for parking, which, thank God for the coins you had put in my purse. It was a good, a little bit of time with my girlfriend. She needed it, whatever. It was a good time, but the class itself, we literally did probably 20 minutes of it, and it was supposed to be an hour. That's how late we were. It was, I guess, our fault, but then the planning of it, trying to be that's for if you already working in Center City and you kind of hang around and then go there. But trying to get to 15th and Chestnut at 6 o'clock, I should have left here at 4:30.
Yeah, that's an hour.
Oh.
5 to 6.
My goodness! And when
all red lights, all brake lights.
My ETA said 6:04. Then it went all the way up to 6:14. Then it came back to 6:11. But then you got to consider parking. So getting there is the ETA is when you're going to be at the door. Then parking in Center City, Philadelphia is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
And then it's okay, I can park here, but not until 6:30. So I know they're going to be lurking at 6:20, 6:25 to get somebody a ticket.
I meant that. It's probably 10 legal parking spaces in the whole Philadelphia.
It's blocks downtown where you're not allowed to park.
The whole downtown, the whole Center City is probably 10 legal spots.
Yeah, it's insane. So nevertheless, my body feels good, that little bit of a workout, and then, I had a great workout today. So I'm feeling like a 9. I might be a 7 tomorrow if I can't sit on the toilet. How are you?
I'm good. I hearing how you are makes me feel a lot better. Mentally, I feel like a 9. Had a really, really good workout today, which sharpens the brain a little bit, takes my mind off work. Finances always an 8. Was good to be a blessing to my nieces and nephews this weekend. Also to you. Work is, I would say, a 9. People try to make me do shit I don't want to do, but work's a 9. It is. I got a job. I make great money, so it is what it is. I got a great life with my wife. Bars. Get a great life with my wife. Add on to that shit. Couple years, I have a song.
It ain't no strife, and we do what's right.
Yes, no. That ain't it, babe. That ain't it. That ain't it.
I'm gonna come back with you.
Physically, I feel like a 9 for the same reason. Was in the gym today, working really hard, doing some different exercises, some calisthenics. Calisthenics.
Yes.
So yeah, hanging with the kettlebells. That's like dead weight, like picking up a dead body kettlebells, because it's the weight of the steel, and then gravity is like snatching it to the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got busy with the kettlebells today, which works out everything. You're working with kettlebells, so I feel good about that. Wows and woes. You want to go?
I'll start, because you might have a brighter side than me. Not that I have like a dark side. My woe is just, when I think about all the days of the year, like my birthday being my favorite day of the year, Mother's Day being my least favorite day of the year. So that was just my woe, leading up to Mother's Day. I always feel like, oh, I'm gonna be good. Like I'm feeling good, on my healing journey. And it's like, as it gets closer and closer and it creeps up, and it's like, womp, womp, womp. Here we go. The feelings, the emotions, and all of that. So, that was just the woe, it is what it is. It's over now. The wow is, I'm just extremely grateful for my amazing husband who, all of the things big and small that he does to just keep me in a good space, mentally. I just love and appreciate him. And we didn't like do much, but everything we did was, amazing. Just chilling. We did our favorite things. We had lunch, dined al fresco, which we love to do when the season is appropriate. We sat in the park by the water and just talked, which sounds so very simple, but it's so major to us. Like, I literally could do that every night if, time allowed and it was close enough. And he bought me a Mother's Day gift, which he's never done before, and I never expected it and don't, ever. It was just really intentional and beautiful and appreciated. Almost like I want to like put it on the wall and frame it just because. But, we just had a great time together. Yeah, so
as we always do.
And but it's in certain moments, and like you said, it's intentional, but it's like in your own little way that you do things that is really appreciated. So that wow was bigger than the woe. Your wows and woes?
Pretty much the same. My woe was the fact that it was just Mother's Day, and one being a situation that we don't have kids, and that I knew that it would be a crushing day for you, as it has been the last 25 years we've been together. So leading up to it, I kind of know and can feel the temperature in the house and feel the temperature in you. So I just wanted you to be okay. I wanted to be there for you if you wasn't okay. It's not anything like I can fix, I can put my hands on and fix that day. So I just wanted to be there for you in case you needed me. And if you didn't, make you laugh and, not be in a down spirit. Although, I want you to feel your feels. So when we was out in the park and you was crying, that's fine. That's all good too. I'm just saying. So that was my woe as far as like just wanting you to be okay. My wow is that, some years ago, this day would be a week. It would be 2 weeks. It would be a month. And through therapy and money and talking and conversations and love and support, she has found a better way to process and get through this. Although it's still hurtful, although it's still painful, she's found a better way to get through this mentally and not let it like be such a juggernaut to bog her down. And I know it's still painful. I know it still hurts. I'm not saying that it doesn't. It probably hurts the same, but it's just you have a better tool bag to go in to know, okay, these are these feelings that I'm having. This is why I'm having it. And you know how to process it and address it, where before you didn't have the capability to process everything that you was feeling, and you kind of just spiral out of control. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the person who helped you. I'm grateful for us. I'm grateful for our conversations. And I'm grateful that it's nothing at all for me to support and see that you good and okay. And I'll always support you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's get right to the show. What risk would you take if you could do something else? Like if you wasn't, with me, if you didn't have responsibilities, if you just didn't do insurance, like what was the one thing that you would do that, you could just do something else? A risk though. It's risky. There's some danger in it.
Oh, so okay. Before you said that, I was gonna say I would go to medical school.
Medical school.
Like I would.
That's risk.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, that's risk.
Yeah, I think that
a lot of fucking debt.
Well, I would find a way to get that paid for. Do student loan. Not through student loan. Do like tuition reimbursement programs and stuff like. Then don't get. I know there's not saying it will be 100% paid for, but at this bigger age than at 18, 19 going to college, I understand better ways to navigate through that process. So that'll be one thing I would look to do I would go to medical school. I would be one of them people like you see, it's like she finally became a doctor at 74 years old. I think because like you said, if what was the question? If I could,
what risk would you take if you could do something else?
So if it was like you said, not even if I didn't have you, if that was a sacrifice that we could make, or if I was single, and again, removing responsibilities because, you wouldn't be able to work probably while you're in school, I guess some people in medical school get like a part-time job. But again, barring all of those other things, that's what I would do. I would go to medical school.
I have two. One would be always, I said I wanted to be in media, but I think and I probably would freeze, but I think I would try stand-up comedy. I think I would try to do a set. Like if I could get 5 minutes, I think I would try to do that. Also, I would want to experience college. So I'm too old for that, but I would want that.
You are not too old for college.
For that experience that I want. The
you mean like on
experience
campus?
On campus, living in a dorm with kids my age.
They're going to be like, sir,
yeah,
you can't live here.
Yeah. So that's what I mean, like that experience of getting to know new people at a young age and being able to adapt to that early. Like that college experience. Not so much the degree, but just the social part.
You just want to go and not get a degree?
No, I would get the degree. I'm just saying my purpose now would be to reflect on the social part of it and how, not the parties and shit, but just how to interact with people as a young person where I could retain it the way.
It's more like on a networking level with young people. Networking, but and also social life.
Yeah, almost like an experiment. Like how many friends could I have made? Like that kind of thing. Like how many, girls could I've been cool with that's not sexual. Like along that kind of thing. Like being in a social setting but not having it be, if it's the male female gender, it's about sex.
Right. Now now going back to your first thing, I'm going to hit like somebody's amateur night on the stage. I've been telling him this for the last, I would say probably about 3 or 4 years or so. I'm gonna have to tell him because we don't operate like that. Like he gonna have to know where I am, and I don't want to lie. Like I could say, hey babe, I got a work event tonight in Newark and be at the comedy club doing a show, but I don't want to do that.
Down at Helium, like what the fuck going on?
But I don't want him to come. Like I don't want anybody to be in it's 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. I want honest.
You would be the only person I would want to come because I would want you to tell me, babe, that ain't it, or I laughed once, or you know,
that's what I was
being
gonna
booed
say.
and not being good the first time is part of it. So it's not like I'm getting up there and expecting to be Kevin Hart. I just want to see if I got the balls to talk about some shit that's funny for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and it ain't like I'm trying to make it for real. Like I think it would hurt even more if you're like throwing it out on the line and you're expecting us to pay your bills. I just want to do it as like a hobby and see, like you said, what people's reception
funny
is.
for 5 minutes and somebody say come back on Friday.
I'll be there. Well,
say,
Friday is date night, so I'm gonna come on Saturday.
Well, come on Saturday, and then they say, you know what, he was pretty funny this Saturday. What's your next 5 Saturdays? It's like, oh, I got
like,
5 shows.
baby, I got shows.
5 shows.
That would be funny. But yeah. I probably would want you in the audience just for that honest feedback, because you know
Plus, you
me.
need the cheat code. Like, I gotta get the people around me. Like, ain't she funny? Ah, she funny as a motherfucker. God damn. Y'all hear this shit? She is cracking up. Oh my God. God damn, she funny. She funny as hell. What the fuck?
That's right. My number one cheerleader. But we ain't gonna tell nobody else. But you would do it too?
Yeah.
You would do it too? All right. So we gonna get our set together. You get yours together, I get mine together. We gonna find somebody's. But you know, amateur nights be on like a Wednesday.
I know. So we probably be doing it to like 30 people.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. It's strangers. It's brave. We going up there. See, you got a little advantage because you can smoke and go up there and throw caution to the wind. I'm sober Sally. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be up there.
Sober Sally is wild. It's crazy work.
You know?
I'm gonna go up there like. What the fuck? Like, y'all looking at I don't know. I hope it ain't like a tough crowd. But yeah, I would try it.
I definitely would too. So there's a lot of like little quirky things. I won't say a lot. There's some quirky things about each of us. What is your favorite weird habit of mine?
Favorite weird habit? Jesus Christ. That's on the spot. Weird. How many habits do you do? I have habits that about you that I don't necessarily like that I think is funny.
Oh, okay.
But I don't like. I like them.
But you think they're funny?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like ripping off your toenails. Like I think that's like some barbaric shit that I can't do. Like you rip off your big toenail. And it's like a clipper right next to you. Or you could ask Bait, can you hand me that clipper over there? And it's like, sure. But instead, she likes the feeling of ripping off her big toenail.
Well, not like the whole toenail.
No, not a whole toenail.
So I hate the feeling of long. Like I like a nice toenail that just grazes. Like that's the exact same height as my toe. Mm-hmm. If it curves over, if it curves over a little bit or feels like it's hugging my toe. It's not so. I hate that feeling, but I also love the fresh new feeling of when you take the nail off.
Oh my God!
Can I tell you something that's like a little bit gross? When I was a kid,
what?
I wouldn't do it now. I used to bite my toenails off.
That's fine.
I've always taken my toenails off. Like when I go to the nail salon, like they never have to cut my toenails down because I take them down myself. I don't.
Who doesn't bite their hand nails but bites their toenails?
No. I had a very bad experience, kind of traumatic child abuse experience. I used to bite my nails when I was very young and probably around like 8 or so. I bit my thumb so low it was hurting. And as a punishment, my dad was like, okay, don't bite your nails anymore. And he would check our nails every week. And if they were like bitten off, we would get our hands smacked. So that stopped me from biting my nails.
I was about to say, who got their hands smacked? Who continued to bite their nails? Erica?
Yeah, a couple times.
It's like, fuck that shit. I'm biting my nails.
And my mom would try to help us because they still have it, this nail polish for nail biters that you can polish on your nails and it'll taste nasty. But yeah, that was and they use that for people that suck their thumb too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't bite my nails. Like as an adult, that was never a thing. But I don't like toenails. Yeah.
I never would think to bite. I'm not that type of dude to eat boogies, bite your toenail.
No, I don't eat boogies.
Eat earwax. Like, you got your fucking mind.
Scabs.
Not doing that. Yeah, like, not doing that. Fuck that.
Yeah. Your weird habit your weird habit that I won't say it's my favorite, but that I like this. I don't know if this is like TMI for people, but.
What I did?
Like, you you like your bare butt to like be on stuff when you sit down at home.
I do.
So like
Yeah,
if
that's
you
my TMI.
yeah, so like if you sit on the sofa, well, you know, we don't sit on our beds with clothes on or nothing like that, but like you like your butt skin out, like you like your butt to breathe. I think that's so funny that I don't know, like
I'll put it on the sofa every now and again.
Yeah, like you'll stand up and be like, okay, let me, you know, I mean, not that other body parts haven't been on the sofa, wink, wink, but like even when you just chilling, you just like, let my butt breathe. Is it because you have like a hairy butt?
No, it's a sensory thing. It's just the feeling of, you know. That's why I asked you to rub my butt so much.
And that puts you right to sleep.
Yeah, it's just a
like
sensory
you are like a baby when it comes time to go. Even if I want to watch something, and you are like halfway in and out watching TV, I just rub you like a baby, like your lower back and your butt, and you be out.
Man, it don't take
like
much.
It don't take much at all, and
Nope.
you be out.
And I know that for me, like it's a sensory thing. So like it feels good if I rub it myself, but I want to check out and be like, let me just lay here and let her do it, and then.
For me, it puts me to sleep. It's not even so much puts me to sleep. It's soothing for me to rub any part of your skin. Like, you know, I can rub the back of your hand and it just like.
Y'all rub y'all ass out there? Like when y'all go to sleep? Y'all own ass?
Like, that's just like some old lady stuff.
Yeah, I rub my own ass. I rub your own ass.
I'm like a baby. Like, I put my hand right here on you.
You tuck it underneath me in weird places.
Yeah, I just need to feel your skin and then I'm asleep. Like, even if I'm all the way on my side of the bed, I stretch my hand over to your side just to feel a little bit of skin and then I go to sleep. It feels good. That's like that oxytocin passing back and forth. You know, oxytocin passes
Did you see my story about the phone?
Yeah, I did.
And the melatonin and stuff?
Yeah. But oxytocin passes back and forth. Of course, you know, when you have babies, when you have sex, but also through non-sexual intimacy. So for me, that's what it is.
Touching, laying on each other. That sends you into a trance. If I lay on her chest and hear her heartbeat, I might get to 100 times.
Yeah.
Like literally, I might, and you know your heart beats, you know, a good amount of times. Like I'm laying on her, I might get to 100 times.
And you are out like a light.
Gone. Almost like it's propofol. Like count backwards from 100. It's like I'm gone.
Like I'm drugging you, putting you to sleep.
Yeah, it's just something about sends you into a trance. If I lost my memory, what's the first thing that you would tell me about us?
Wow. So.
And the doctor said you can go in there, you can see him now, but he's not going to remember who you are.
Wow. I would tell you, you're my lobster. I would tell you that I loved you.
Past tense?
I have always loved you. I liked you since I was 12 years old, and I loved you since I was 18. I would say to you, the media end. Yeah. So I would like plant little seeds.
That brings back memories.
Yeah, I would plant little seeds in your head to, you know, to let you know. Like, we've been together all our life, and we're going to always be together.
I think I would kind of do the same thing. I would come in, I would introduce myself. Hey, what's up? I'm Walt. And then I would tell you, like, you fell in love with me. We've been together for 25 years. I've always kept you safe. What else I would tell you? I'm super, super, super in love with you, but that's like we fell in love. What else I would say? What seeds could I plant? Oh, Ambler. I would just say Ambler. Remember Ambler.
Oh, I got another good one.
Knuckle mixing. Kind of where it started, the conversations, the being best friends. When we both was at the table with nothing. We built our own table.
Yeah.
We would go out and knuckle mixing and have 12-hour barbecues. Just two people, just us.
All day.
10 in the morning, we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner out there.
Not to mention, we drove there in like a 1980 Ford F-150.
With cancer on the side.
Yeah.
So, I would remind you of Tosh.
Yeah.
Little things like that.
Yeah. I would remind you that we met
Train station.
to reconnect and been together ever since. But we met at the train station at Broad and Lehigh.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought you had stood me up, but you kept your promise, and you kept every promise since then. Mm-hmm. So I would tell you, promise me that, you're going to
remember you.
Yeah. And you can't lie to me because you didn't keep all your promises. Now, with that being said, talking about losing your memory, what is a part of you that you don't recognize anymore?
A young, violent, stick-up kid. Throwing guns in people's faces. Robbing dice games, playgrounds, that part of me, I don't like. That part of me, I was so scared. I don't recognize that part of me anymore. And the parts of me before therapy. Like, I could see in hindsight in 2020, in hindsight to be like, damn, I'm glad I changed from that, because looking at that outside in, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to handle things like that. I don't want to talk like that. That's probably what I don't recognize anymore is the scared Jamar. You?
I would say starting like an earlier age, like my 17, 18, 19-year-old self. I don't recognize, when I think about who I was and the things that I was doing, it's weird to know how, like, who I am today and how I allowed myself to be that person. Like the promiscuity, I won't even say the drinking, because I was like a social drinker. It wasn't like I was an alcoholic.
You won't take any kind of smut on your jacket off. That's what you're trying to take.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm saying that I don't recognize that person, because when I look back at that person, like, I know like she was hurt. I know she was going through a lot, and I'm so
trying to figure it out.
She is part of me, and I'm grateful that I have learned and grown from who she was. But it's like, I don't recognize that person anymore. I also, like, even in more recent years, I don't recognize the people pleaser that I used to be, or in the controlling, like, person that I used to be, and controlling in the sense of like being the family event planner, like, I almost have like anxiety, but like, I can't plan things. It's like, I don't want to so bad that even things that I want to plan, it's difficult for me to do. Like, when Toya always says, like, "Oh, what you doing for your birthday?" I go back and forth, like, "Oh, I might do this. Nah, I don't want to plan anything. Oh, I might do this. No, I don't feel like texting and inviting people." Like, you're right. It's so much work even wanting to plan anything, because I did it for so long, and it's like,
for so many people other than yourself, your sisters and your friends and
the family, I would like, so that, and then being in places and being
and going
with
to
people,
get cakes and food and being a go, like, just, and I get it, not like you're a gopher, but like you want everything to be nice and right, and you can't trust this person to do it because they might come in with some bullshit or do something wrong.
And I think people just relied on
being
that
the
too.
first person there to decorate, because it's like, I don't trust them to decorate because then it's going to be cheesy. Like, all of those things would be like, Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah. And so I don't recognize that people pleaser person anymore. Almost to the point where it's like, I have to not force myself, because if I don't want to do it, I'm at the stage of my life, if I don't want to do something, I'm not a people pleaser, I'm not going to do it. But it's weird to think like, who was I like, why was I that way? And like, I don't, so that part of me, I don't recognize anymore. It's not that it felt like a burden at that time, but now being on the other side of it, it definitely is a lighter load to carry. You know, it's sad in some ways because you realize like certain things don't happen anymore, because you're not the one that planned it, or things do happen and you're just not included. And it's like, planning family game nights and this, that, and the other. Like one of my cousins, she'll have game nights, but it's like, with certain groups of people in the family, and no shade, it is what it is, but it's like, yeah, that I was the one that used to help orchestrate those things, and I'm okay not to be anymore. Yeah, I don't really recognize that person.
You grow, you're in a different season. What's important is important, and what's not was not.
Talking about growing, how would your 13-year-old self, what would your 13-year-old self think about who you are today?
Wow. See, another part of that takes me back to yesterday of being lost and being scared. Like 13 years old, I was in the street. I was smoking weed at 11. Mm-hmm. So 13 years old, I was selling drugs, like $3 caps I was selling. Like, so I was so impressionable, and not knowing what I have now was even obtainable. Mm-hmm. So I would just.
So who would that person think of you?
He would probably think like, you're not me. Like you're not who I was at 13, or you. I never would think at 13 I would have grown into the person I am at 47. Not in a million years. Not in a million years. And maybe it took what I went through to get there. Maybe it took this relationship for me to get there. Maybe it took the things that I went through with my daughter to get there. I don't know, but maybe it took all those things. But yeah, my 13-year-old self would say, you're not the person, like you can't be. Like if he was like 13 and be like, I'm his dad, like he would be like, nah, you can't be. Like no fucking way. Like, no way. Like you supposed to be like doing a 20 to 40 or something like that.
So he would be surprised at who you are now.
Super surprised. Super surprised. And I think he would appreciate it. Mm-hmm. I think he would appreciate it. Yeah. What about you?
My 13-year-old self,
because you have been watching porn since you was 9, so at 13, you got 6 years in. 5 years in.
First of all, I was not 9.
Okay.
I probably was like 12.
All right.
But I think all kids, when did you start watching porn?
I had sex at 13.
Okay, so again, I wasn't doing anything with anybody. Maybe like little kissing in the hallway, but like no like real sex. I was just curious. Like,
well, as a young kid, once I found out you could trick, it's lights out.
At 13, no, like that's crazy.
Lights out.
That is crazy. Now I remember I used to watch porn, and then you used to have to remember where the tape was, so then you could rewind it back to that same spot.
I never would have remembered that. I got caught every time. I never would have remembered that.
That's
once
crazy.
You get the beat off, it's like, fuck that tape.
No, I wasn't like masturbating. I was just like watching.
We were. I'm just saying, we're not just watching fucking hard. Like that's how you get blue balls. Like you gotta do something with it. I'm sure you might have been watching for curiosity or, whatever you was thinking in your head. But boys watching porn, they gonna do something.
No, I was not touching myself. But my 13-year-old self would be proud of who I am today. I know she would be so proud. I think she would be proud of, and I wouldn't even, 5 years ago, I would not have imagined I'm 44, my 40-year-old self.
Did that last week.
I forget sometimes.
In 7 days.
My 40-year-old self will be proud of who my 44-year-old self is. So my 13-year-old self will be proud of, We'll be proud that I am the woman that I wish that I had
at 13.
Like I didn't have just would be proud of the woman that I am today, and that I could be the woman that I am hopefully to my nieces, yeah, to my nieces and nieces by blood or by love, but just being that woman to any other girl or woman that may need it. So my 13-year-old self, I think, would be super proud of how brave I am. I don't think she would be surprised that like I got a big mouth, but having a big mouth and like speaking up, like having a big mouth and talking a lot is different in having a big mouth and saying things that mean something or are meaningful and speaking up. You can have a big mouth and just say a whole lot of nothing, right? So I think she would be proud that I used my voice for good. You know, really funny story. When I was like 15, 16, I remember being in church and this lady, you know, people, she was a minister, but like people will always, I don't want to call her a prophet because I don't give anybody that title, but she would like say stuff to people and people would be like, it was really like she was seeing something in you. And I'll never forget, she told me, she said, you better use your voice or you're gonna lose it. And then as a kid, I thought I sang in a choir, but I'm not a singer, but I kind of thought like,
I gotta get up here and scream.
I ain't really that good of a singer. So like, what she mean? And like, that has always stuck with me. And you know, like if I need to speak up about something, I'm gonna speak up about it. But that, and maybe that was just like a seed planted in my head from God through her to help me be that person. I don't know, but it has always stuck in my mind of her saying that. So I think my 13-year-old self would be really proud of who I am today.
I know I am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
3 grams. ISO on me. Fuck this. LPG Qua. I hope I'm saying his name right, or LPG Quay.
I think it was Qua because his name was Quadir.
Qua. Okay. Let me land my plane. So. This kid is 30 years old, been rapping in the street since he was 18, all positive raps, trying to stop the youth, was nicknamed the voice of the youth, and positive raps, trying to stop the violence, people getting shot, lost a lot of friends, but the city of Philadelphia, like it's fucked up. It's really, really, really fucked up. I'm from there, I grew up there. All the bad shit I learned in this, and maybe it's just my case, so I'm speaking for me, but all the bad shit I learned in Philly, I kind of had to forget a lot of it to live outside of Philly. And it's like, you guys have these young kids running around with these guns, long guns, clips, and killing women, children, kids. They're not even making it to see 18. And this is like a constant thing about that city. That city is a city I grew up in, but it's I don't know, I don't want to say like it need to be wiped out because it's good people there, but it's a terrible place to grow up at now. It's a terrible place to grow up. If you're not gang, you're gonna get robbed, you're gonna get carjacked. And back in my day when you grew up, you kids that played basketball, kids that did the any type of positive thing, people didn't fuck with. And it's like, this kid's out here doing his positive thing. Like, screw all that. You talk about planting seeds. God sent this kid down here to be the voice of the youth in real time for y'all to hear his message. And y'all kill him over a chain on Mother's Day. Y'all took Gilly's son, where he's a guy out here doing positive shit, and y'all take his son. This kid's out here doing positive shit, and y'all rob him for his chain on Mother's Day. So it's young boys out here robbing people and killing people and getting homicides on Mother's Day. On Mother's Day. Like, the shit is just crazy to me how the city has flipped. And it was worse when I was young, but it wasn't this wild and bad and crazy. And it was real life stuff like truce on Sundays, or you get seen with your girl or your mom or your kids, you get a pass. And nobody got robbed on Mother's Day, let alone killed. People was with their moms. They were celebrating with their moms. They wanted to do good that day for their moms because it was Mother's Day. You didn't think, let me go get my gun and go commit a murder. Let me go commit a robbery. Let me go take some dude's chain. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. And Philadelphia has to do better. It's a shame to say that I'm from there. It is. I feel like I'm ashamed to say that I'm from there, where young kids, 12 and 13 years old, just kill people for no fucking reason at all. It's just sad.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the headlines. I had never heard of him before, but I see, a lot of people posting about him being, a lot of prominent people in and from the city posting about him. And it is really sad. It's sad for a mom to lose her son, or a father to lose their child on any day, but especially Mother's Day. It's almost like these kids today are so out of touch with
stupid
reality, with like real life. They probably didn't even think about it being Mother's Day and the gravity of it. You know what I mean? Like, they probably were just in their mode of robbing, stealing, doing things, and
so you
didn't
don't think they woke up and said Happy Mother's Day to their mom before they went outside, or their grandmom that they live with? Even if their mom ain't around, they live with their grandmas. Some kids are growing up with their grandma. They didn't say Happy Mother's Day before they went to rob?
Possibly not. That's what I'm saying. Their moms could, not be there. Their moms could have been at a nigga house, where they stand, they could have woke up at the trap house, not have woke up at home. I'm just saying it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. And it's funny because I seen this TikTok video completely unrelated to this, but these girls were like eating something weird from like a bodega. So they, was buying this stuff and they went outside, and as they're making their little, almost like a chi-chi mix, the girl was like seeing people walk up to she was like, oh yeah, it is church Sunday. And it was weird that she said it like that, like church Sunday, but it's like you got these three, and they were like older teenagers, maybe like late teens, early 20s, but it's like whatever they were doing in life, they got up, went to the store, they didn't even realize it was Sunday. And you think, what do y'all do in y'all everyday life? Like, do y'all go to work every day? Because you had to realize you didn't go to work today. And then they seen some people walking by and it was like, y'all look really nice, Happy Mother's Day. So I'm just saying all that to say, some people are out of touch with reality, or they got so many other things going on in life. It may not even have registered to these kids what they're doing, because they're so wrapped up in the street violence and the dumb stuff that they didn't even take a moment to, like, their hearts are desensitized.
It is.
Their hearts are desensitized.
It is. And they don't love nobody. It's just nobody that's loving on them. I don't know what the fuck it is about the non-care of life.
They don't have anything that they care about. So it's like they willing to do
these
whatever.
These young niggas got kids. Like, motherfucker don't have a baby
do
somewhere.
Do you think that means that they care about them? You would think that they should, but come on. Like, unfortunately, a lot of them, they just making babies, and they not making babies with somebody they love.
When I was a kid, old heads used to say it's always the good one to catch the bullet in the noodle. And I used to think, like, it's funny, it's jokey, but that shit tracks. Like, it's always good kids that catch a bad fucking end. And the bad kids get bad shit happen to them too. But the good kids, like I said, when I grew up, if it was a kid that walked around with a basketball all day, motherfuckers would tell him go in the house at a certain time. Get off the corner. Like, we gambling now. Like, go over there. Like, if you rode your bike all the time, like, people just, they told you to go away because they knew that shit wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Like, if you was going to school or something like that, and you was serious about your schooling, and people seeing you getting off the bus with your book bag, like, people told you, get away from the corner, get away from this. And they made other people know not to fuck with you.
Yeah.
But now these kids are doing good shit out here rapping for 12 years, meeting people, all these people posting this kid Snoop and Charlie Mack and all, like, he had connections to almost go to the next level. And to kill him over a goddamn chain that you can't do anything with right now. That you can't do nothing with his chain right now.
Because people know.
Yeah, like the whole city is in uproar about this, and you holding on to his chain.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Rest
it's
in
crazy.
Peace to him, and condolences to his family.
Rest in peace, condolences to his family.
Yeah. So I heard about Tory Lanez getting poked up in prison. And it, not to say that it didn't happen, but it's like, it seemed like a very aggressive attack. And
I seen the Mexican guy that they said who did it. They had a buckshot of him today.
He got stabbed like 14 times. His lungs collapsed. He got stabbed in the head.
In the cheek.
But he's breathing on his own now, which just sounds really crazy. Like, how long ago did this happen that your lungs collapsed and now you're breathing on your own?
And the way the story was put out saying your lungs collapsed, he was put on a breathing machine, but he's okay now.
Yeah.
Like when they put you on breathing machines, they don't take you right off to the next hour. Usually on a breathing machine for a few days.
That's what it's like.
That's like a commitment when they put that on you.
It looked like somebody typed that in his story, like a family member or somebody that has access to his page. But I wonder, like, from the actual prison, what's the report?
The prison hasn't reported, or the hospital, because he was taken to an outside hospital. So neither the prison or the hospital has confirmed of him being stabbed. The prison, I don't, that's not surprising that they don't confirm. But the hospital, you would think, would confirm, because it's like, it's public.
Yeah, it's sad, that, I mean, not just because he's Tory Lanez, but nobody should be killed. And especially in prison, it's like sometimes it's more dangerous and I said this a couple weeks ago about kids, feeling like a sense of peace when they go in prison because, it kind of takes some of the stress off from them being in the streets. But it's like prison is just as dangerous, if not more.
I told you that day. I said it doesn't take the stress off because you get there and you would shoot them up bang bang on the street. But now that's gone. And yeah, you getting stabbed 14 times is not good. You can go to prison on some crazy stuff and have a sentence and not make it home. That's the thing.
Yeah.
When you go to prison, you could not come home and it not be like your fault. So it's tough to be locked up somewhere and some shit like this happen. You probably laid up in the hospital if this did happen, thinking I just want to go to fuck home. And I showed you a video the other day of what happens in prisons. You think young boys want to go through that shit? And you scared to death of somebody? Like, nah, you don't want to go through that shit.
Meet the big bully in prison.
Yeah.
Speaking of prison, Mr. Sean Diddy, Puff Daddy,
I'm glad
P.
this
Diddy.
is just a part of the Grams now.
Yeah.
I am.
Because I wanted to talk about a whole bunch. The trial is going on. We're hearing a lot of the details that I had kind of read some of the, the deposition when the civil suit went on, but these are more details about, his relationship and activities involving Cassie, and it's one of them things too that it makes me think. I wonder if I was in his situation, where I know your family may want to be there to support you, but I think I might ask my family to sit out.
The caretaker took his daughters out the room when the husband testified. I mean, when the escort testified and talked all that graphic shit about the peeing and all that kind of stuff that they used to do. They took his daughters out of court. And again, how old is his twins?
They grown. Well, they 18 and the other one is 19. They like 17, 18, 19, around that age.
Because I remember them, they were like little girls, like 15, 16. So if you're saying...
No, they graduate in high school this year.
Okay, so they're a little bit older. Yeah, they took them out of court. I wouldn't want them to hear that shit either.
Yeah, even my son. I mean, his sons are grown, but his mom. Did his mom stay there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just would ask my family, like, don't come to these hearings. I mean, it's going to be online, but.
And it's not like they cut anything out. It's online. It's on Instagram. It's on Hollywood Unlocked. It's on Baller Alert. It's on everything.
But you can control what you read. Now, if it's your dad and you I wouldn't want to read about my dad's sexual activities, if like a sexual crime. I wouldn't want to read that. But if you're there to hear it, it's like, nah, like I would want to sit that out. Or maybe just be in the hallway or something. I just wouldn't want to hear it.
So we're hearing some graphic things about how he, the escort would finish on Cassie, and Cassie was instructed to take the finishing, the ejaculation, and rub it on Puff's nipples. This is just some of the graphic shit that you can read online about what was said. What do you think his mom, his sons, like her husband hear when that's going on?
I think her husband has already been privy. I would think.
So you think he's been told 100% of everything?
So one, let's remember too, the husband wasn't far removed. The husband was her trainer when she was with Diddy. Mm-hmm. So there's already been some relationship there. I think their relationship probably started as a friendship.
Confidant.
So he's been privy to her getting beat and all that. So I think that she has already prepared him.
So he's not blindsided in court. Yeah. So you think the pee in the mouth thing.
And you gotta think all the therapy she gotta go through. Yeah. They didn't have 3 kids. I'm sure. I would bet money sex is they love each other, so it's intimate, but there's probably still some PTSD involved in sexual intercourse with them.
And touching her a certain way, she might clam up, or
it may be periods of time where
it,
she don't want to be touched.
I was about to say, in the middle about to do it, she might be like, I just can't do it. I just can't do this.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think her husband is a non-factor because I would think that she prepared him.
I would think so, too.
Yeah.
Because, again, everybody knows every detail is going to come out in court, and you're talking about somebody with high-powered lawyers. So let me tell you every detail so you're not shocked about anything in court.
And they're going to try to paint me this way. They're going to say this. Now, as far as his mom and his daughters, hopefully, like you said, they removed him, so hopefully they didn't hear anything. His sons, they grown, but you still got to be like, I know my dad a freak boy.
Freak boy? You want another man milk on your nipples?
I mean, look, maybe.
You want another man's semen rubbed on your nipples. And
let's also, I'm not going to say his sons were part of any of those activities, but they were aware of their dad having these kind of parties. I'm sure they've seen a lot of coming and going.
Know that their dad was jerking off in the next room while his girl was getting banged, or oiling up every 5 minutes, or peeing in his girl's mouth with other people. Like, those kind of things is stuff that he was going to the grave with. It just so happened that it's like, now I gotta live with it. People just gonna know I'm nasty.
But when you say
nasty, everybody nasty, but to what degree?
But when you say going to the grave with it, you gotta think. Here are these escorts that knew this. So it's not like this was this was just between you and your partner, and y'all were doing, like, let's say we in here peeing on each other, or we in here doing something, and nobody would ever know. But once you involve a third person, it ain't like because even if that third person is only going home and telling their one best friend, and like, you gotta promise you'll never say anything because I could be sued or I could be killed.
Like the security guard who sent the tape to his wife.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying.
Which I would do to you. Like, babe, look at this shit. These motherfuckers crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So
tripping in here.
I think in his egomania, him being an egomaniac, I don't think that I don't think he's even bothered by the fact of anybody knowing these details. I don't think he is.
At all, babe? You don't think that the men that he meet, the men who he thought was beneath him, his peers, the general public, his peers, the people who he gave a shit about, they knew Puff was freaky. They knew he threw freak off. They didn't know that you like men semen on your nipples. But now to say you peeing in girls' mouths, you are Kelly. We heard that before, but we did not hear that another dude can finish on your girl and your girl is instructed to go rub his semen on your nipples. That I've never seen that on porn. I've been watching porn for 40-something years. Like, I've never seen that on porn. I've seen amputee porn. I've never seen that. I'm just saying.
I just don't think that this man cares. I think he cares about not going to jail. I think he cares about his reputation and how far it will impact him financially. I would not be surprised if Puff beat this case and he came out and started a porn empire, because now it's like, everybody knows I'm a freak. Let me profit off of it. Like, I just don't think that can't stop, won't stop mentality. I think that's real in his mind.
Yeah, he's.
I don't think that he is bothered by anybody knowing these things except for maybe his children. And I don't think his mom is. I'm not gonna say she's innocent in any of this, but she know her son is her son. I don't think he cares about about protecting any of that except from his kids. I think any of this, Puff is going to find his way to, diddy bop his way right around this. Let him beat this case. Yeah, that's what he going to do. He going to can't stop, won't stop, and he going to have a porn empire.
He said we're going to be rocking from now to the year 3000. I remember
and he meant that. He going to definitely try to stand on that if he ain't behind bars.
I think they get him for something. I think they get him for at least 5 years, and he's already been down almost a year. Time go past quick. Yeah. So, another year he might get time served or go home with an ankle monitor.
Which is a slap in the face, but
it is.
We'll see.
It is. That's a wrap. A2TP Podcast, episode 220. A2TP coming to a close. All the platforms: Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Podchaser, Google Podcast Player, FM. Catch us out there. See our faces. Y'all fuck with us. We fuck with y'all.
And if you don't, you should.
Peace.